to the show, Sammy and Tammy, the Sam podcast, sharing among the masses. What do you think about the crisis at the border in Texas and Laredo?
It's heartbreaking. It's, we just looked up how far it takes to get here. It's 1,936 miles to get from Haiti to Texas. And these people are there and they're being sent back on a nice airplane because they're not trying to escape. They're trying to build a life. I mean, what are they being sent back to? It's not like they have a house to go back to after the earthquake. What are they going to do?
That is so true. I'm like, where do they go? I'm like,
we're just going to go drop them off. We're just dropping them off. That's not our responsibility, It's not our responsibility. We help people. We always help people. We don't want to help certain people. Yeah. And that's the part that's disheartening. If it were any other group, it's no problem. The people from Afghanistan, well, they helped us when we were over there. Right. So we're going to do something for them. Right. But what has Haiti done for us? They haven't done anything for us. So we're going to send them back to nothing because we don't care. But we don't want them here.
And that's what that sounds exactly like. Sounds like they look like the color of us, and they don't want them here.
That's exactly right.
And just like it was disheartening, those pictures.
Yes.
If you hadn't seen those pictures of the Border Patrol on horseback. It takes you back to the 1800s.
It reminds
It takes you back to the 1800s.
Somebody's trying to they're trying to go, and we're not going to let them. And it's the same way they would do slaves in that time if slaves were trying to escape.
That's exactly that's
that's exactly
what it looked like.
Exactly. And then they keep on saying that's not who we are. Who are we? That's the question I want to know, is who are we? Because we keep saying we're not prejudiced. We're not racist. We're not. Then why do we keep seeing these images? Why do we keep seeing people that look like us beat up, shot, killed? I mean, just not treated fairly, but it's just it's just some people are like that, but not all of us are. But if you're not saying anything against it, you are like that. Silence is golden sometimes, but not in these cases. In these cases, people need to speak up.
Yeah, and it's like the silencers accepting it.
Exactly.
We learned that throughout all the marches where people were protesting, and some of those protests did turn violent, but nobody was upset when it was silent.
No, not at all.
Nobody's upset when it's silent, but the moment that people are making noise about it, it's a problem.
Exactly. Now all of a sudden, we're not kind of in our place without saying that, but that's what it is. There's a certain place that you should be, and I mean, you should be happy. I mean, you have it good. You're free. So why are you complaining?
Well, people complain when it doesn't affect them. And it's like they complain about it when it doesn't affect them. But once it becomes them, then it'll be like, okay, so,
right.
This is the time to speak up.
Exactly. It really is.
And it just breaks my heart because all those things that are happening in Haiti, the earthquake, and this is the second big earthquake because a few years ago they had an earthquake, and to me,
I don't think they recovered.
I don't think you recover or rebuild from that. And then their president, prime minister, whatever, was gunned down by basically his own people. So I'm like, wow,
what do you do?
They have no place to go.
That's right.
But the thing that's interesting to me, like, how do you choose Texas? Of all the places, and Texas is so far from Haiti.
Yes.
So I'm just
you would think Florida. You think because they have a big community there, you would think they would go to Florida because it's closer going to Florida. But these people have walked, and I'm sure it was not just a couple of days. I'm sure they have been walking for some months to get there, and that shows how determined they are, one, but two, it also shows how bad it is. Because if people are walking away from a country, who does that? Who walks away? I mean, you just decide, we're leaving. We're just going to walk away from this country.
And
it has to be bad.
Man, this country is an island. So I was like,
exactly.
where are the riots coming from? And, this just makes it so bad because we know how crooked things are these days. This is just a bigger envelope for human trafficking, sexual tracking, and sex trafficking. I'm just like, God, what's next? Exactly. It's like every day you wake up, what's next.
That's right.
Just like this little girl that was just killed. Her body was found today. I don't. What about all the black girls that come up missing? This has been on every network.
It has
not
been.
Just television, every network.
Yes.
But look at all the missing we have around this country. And the part that gets me, it seems like the FBI dropped the ball on this one. Because why can this guy just pack a bag and leave?
Yeah.
Why wasn't somebody being a spy to watch him?
Of course. But in 20 years from now, they're going to have a newscast that's going to say, oh, well, this happened back then, but we didn't have enough evidence. And it's funny to me with evidence, there's never enough evidence for someone if your skin color is a little lighter.
Right.
But if it were me or you,
speculation.
That's enough. He's guilty.
Speculation.
He's guilty. That's exactly right. And people don't understand that, and they think that we're trying to be the victim. We're not trying to be the victim. We just happen to be the victim, and it's not our choice to be the victim. I mean, what do you want us to do? I'm like, you try not to be angry, but you get tired of seeing these images, and it's hard to be the voice of reason when people are not listening. When your study saying this is not right, we need to make some changes, things need to change, and nothing happens.
Well, the thing is, we just want it to be fair across the board.
Exactly.
We want it to be fair across the board.
Exactly. We want the same rules that happen for us and them to be the same. And it's like if we talk about the different crimes. So if I go and kill somebody, I'm going to get at least 60 or 70 years. But if it's my counterpart, they might get 20 or 30 years. Tell me what the difference is.
They may get probation.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So why can't I get probation? Why is it, I don't understand why justice is so hard for us.
And especially in this situation where these two were together, law enforcement stopped them earlier.
Yes,
and I'm just like, okay.
Red flags everywhere.
And I'm like, and nothing would happen. And so then this guy comes back home
by himself, just chilling like
and doesn't want to answer any questions.
Yeah. And that's what gets me. He's allowed to not say anything, and it's not that big of a deal.
Well, honestly, unless you're under arrest, you don't have to say anything.
But if you're with this woman,
unless you're under arrest, you don't have to say anything.
And I understand that.
But it seems to me law enforcement should have been watching him closely.
Definitely.
Because this girl is missing. She's
dead now. They found a body.
They found her body, so she is dead. But it's just a fact, it's just interesting. He was just able to pack a bag, a backpack. Backpacks and walk away. I'm just like, walk away, and nobody can find. So there's a big manhunt when easily it could have been a car parked outside of his house to watch him.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not doing anything. My background is in juvenile justice. We used to have kids where there was somebody watching a particular kid if they became a person of interest. So why wasn't somebody watching him? And he definitely was a person of interest because he was the last person known with her.
Yes. So I said 20 years, but maybe 3 or 4 years they will, come up with something. But this is, again, what I'm not understanding is why they're not taking it seriously. When the trooper was out there with them, when they had the domestic dispute, they should have been separated. Somebody, and they were like, well, somebody's going to sleep in the car and somebody's going to sleep in the hotel. No, you call somebody to come and get you, or you get on a plane somewhere and you drive wherever you're going, but I don't even think they should have been allowed to continue together. I know domestic situations are different, and they're kind of hard to distinguish, but at the same time, I'm like, what kind of cries for help do we have to have? Men are naturally stronger than women. Okay, regardless of what you say, I hate to say this, but the only thing that I don't think women could do would be play football. And I'm going to explain that. And I say that because men are naturally stronger. They did this study and they were showing the pressure that a man can exert. Okay, I don't know if you see how big some of those defensive and offensive linemen are. Those men are easily 300 and they are running.
Easily 300.
Yes, and they are running at full force, knocking men down. I love football and I like to see it. But I'm just saying that force is so serious. So
it is. It's like being in a car. It's like being in a car wreck.
And like exactly, because your body feels
it's been
that.
In a car wreck.
You know,
it's been like I've been in a car wreck with 50 plays. You know.
Exactly.
Because I was a lineman, so I know.
Mercy.
But back to the thing, and the thing is, when the troopers pulled them over, you know, he had the scratches all over his face, so they could have easily taken her away and let him continue. And
exactly.
And if they wanted to do like, well, you got to call somebody to come pick you up.
That's exactly right. And she would still be here today.
Yeah, she would.
You know, and so. I know hindsight is 20/20, but at the same time, just, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you going back with this man. Right. Something's not right, you know? Yeah.
Or it could have been like on the other foot, like, well, hey, man, you need to get away from her. We need you guys to go your own separate ways. Exactly. You know, since the van is your van, you go ahead and drive away, and we're going to make sure that she gets back to where she was.
Exactly.
It could have been something done, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20. But we know any other situations that probably would have been a whole different ballgame.
Totally different. Different.
You know, it's just sad. And like I said, you were talking about this story 3 or 4 years ago. That's only if her family speaks up enough about it.
That's right.
That's only if her family.
Right. Because you have to fight. You have to continue. You have to stay on the attorney, the district attorney. Right. You have to stay on him. Right. You know, almost like you're getting on their nerves so that they will do something. And I'm like, why does justice, you know, we have to beat justice out of people.
Right.
And we shouldn't have to do that. You know, I mean, it should be, okay, I want this to be taken care of. I want these people to be able to sleep at night because they know what happened to their daughter. Not, well, we don't really know and we can't say, but you know, we'll keep the case open. I'm like, I don't want to hear you tell me you want to keep the case open. I want the case to be closed because you are going to find out what is going on, what's happened, where do we need to go, you know?
And it's sad when they said she was missing, everybody I know, knew. It was like, she's dead.
Exactly.
He killed her. And that's exactly
right.
And even though we don't know what happened, we don't know what happened.
What allegedly happened. Yes.
Everybody knows is that
in the
guy.
Back of your mind. Yeah.
You know, because if not, because he would be upset about it. My girlfriend's dead. I couldn't protect her or left. At least I would think you would be since y'all live together. You know,
I don't know because like the man in Colorado who killed his wife. And family, and he was crying like he was, and we're like, oh my gosh, this man is hurt.
Right.
Got a girlfriend.
Right.
I'm like trying to get rid of the family. I'm like, man, so
this guy showed no public remorse, no public sadness, no public mourning. It's just like he like, I'm out of town. I'm skipped out.
Yeah. What? I'm busy. I have things to do.
And it's just sad that his family, you know, I wonder if I kill somebody or allegedly would my family let me just like skip out, you know? Could I pack a backpack?
Not.
Could I pack a backpack?
We'd be like,
how
much is that reward? That's how. What did Crime Stoppers? How much did they say? 7,000. I can give you his. How are you gonna give me the money? Is it gonna be direct deposit, cash app,
or business?
You know, Venmo. You know, Zelle. How can I get the money?
The biggest question I always say, is it tax free? You know, you always wonder.
That's right. We're telling.
I always wonder when they said there's a reward. I'm like, is it tax free or do you have to pay taxes on that money?
Well, you know, that's a good question. We need to find out.
I always want.
We need to find out. Okay.
And knowing, like I said, you probably have to pay taxes on it.
You probably.
But I always wonder. I was like,
the IRS is gonna be like, oh, we saw this.
Like, yeah.
We heard about this. So
somebody
just be sure we get ours, our cut. Yes.
And that's exactly how that goes.
So you would have to.
But it's gonna be interesting, you know. This is all over networks. You know, this is not just your local channels. This is all over networks and social media. Yes. So we'll see. But also, you know, I just want them to for the missing women of color,
Yes.
men of color that are missing.
Yes, children, boys and girls.
Boys and girls. I would love to see something done. You know, and we say this all the time, but it hasn't been done. You know, it's just like everybody. Well, we've come to dead end on leads. You know,
I'm like, what type of leads? I'm like,
what kind of leads did you have?
Yeah, exactly,
you know,
exactly.
What did you have?
You know,
to
did you
begin
have a
with?
timeline? Do you know, because if you get with parents, most of the time children are at school,
Right.
You know, and I mean, I know the teachers are not responsible for them after they get on the bus or if they say they're walking home,
Right.
you know. But at the same time, at least, hey, this child walked home today. Does their parent know that? You know, and I don't know. I guess that to me, it would be like we have to be involved in the community, be involved with our schools, you know, with the teachers, and you know, have some type of conversation so that if something does happen, they know that it's something abnormal. Because you know, for us, we have to almost be extraordinary before they might feel like, well, maybe they didn't do that or they did do this, you know. So
Yeah,
definitely want to do that.
I'm just like, I just don't know. It seems like it's something every day, though.
It is.
Every day we have something going on. It's like we're waiting for what's going to happen tomorrow. You know, I'm just like, man, my heart goes out to their family.
Yes.
And my heart goes out to the people of Haiti, people of Afghanistan. You know,
Absolutely.
It's just like, man.
I couldn't imagine having to go through anything some of these people have gone through.
Yeah. And and it's like something else we posted. Somebody posted on Facebook about, are we just gonna pretend that that we're still in a pandemic even during football season?
Please don't get me started on that.
I'm just like,
yes.
you know, yeah.
It's like it's out the window because we, in our minds, have said COVID is here. We know it's serious, but we're not going to take it serious until something happens.
Until you have a whole stadium of sick people.
Exactly.
Until it was like
exactly
everybody that attended a game with 50,000 people, that somebody came down. And, you know, I would like for everybody to be vaccinated, but I know there are people that don't believe in vaccinations, people that don't want to get vaccinations. But I always say, if you have that little scar on your arm over here, you believe in vaccinations because you survived. You know,
you're alive because of it. Yeah.
And, you know, it's telling my age a little bit. I'm not 27 like everybody think. You know, like 28, 29.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, but if you have that scar on your arm, you know.
You survive.
You survive a vaccination.
That's
so,
exactly.
You know, and I don't know what was in that vaccination at all. And I'm 57.
And they've never revealed it, probably.
Even if they have, I still don't know. I didn't take the time to look at it. I just know I had the scar. And people of my era, we all have that scar. You know,
and you're still here.
And we've never been sick because of it, you know, or so I don't know. It's just funny how things are about vaccinations.
Oh yeah. Now all of a sudden they become especially with this last one. They're like it was so fast, but what they don't know and what they don't understand is that they have been in the labs for a long time working on this. But
also I would like to point out too, there was a lot of people working on it. It wasn't like it's just this little group over here working. It was the whole world was looking, trying to find a vaccination for this. You know, find something to slow it down.
That's
you know,
exactly right.
You know, in essence, they're looking for a cure, but we know you don't find a cure.
Exactly.
You know, you just want
you find something
to help you fight it.
Exactly.
And
that's all it's supposed to do. It's not supposed to do anything else. It's not, as I've heard some of the different things, that it's going to do something with your DNA. Right. They're inserting something on you so they can track you. I'm like, they have your phone. So if they're gonna track you, they're gonna track you on your They're gonna track you on your phone.
And we're all connected to our phones.
Thank you.
You know, or some electronic device.
Exactly.
You know, just like sitting here in this room, you know, you're like everything is electronic. So you
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So that imprint is
that's
there.
That's not it. Exactly. But it's like, but my thing is, it's still your choice.
Right.
You know, that's the thing about America. It's your choice. But my thing is with the vaccine, if you're not going to take it, put a mask on for the people who might be sick. Right. You know, I have a very compromised immune system. Right. And so when I go out, I always keep my mask on. I've had to stop going so much because of that.
Right.
The good thing is I work from home, so I'm not out, and we order food most of the time from wherever we're going to buy it, United or Walmart, and just pick it up. We don't have to go inside the store,
Right.
And then we're still on drive-thrus. I don't think we've gone to a restaurant and sat down inside yet, and I'm fine with that because I don't want to even catch a cold, okay? And so I just don't want to put myself out there.
And I've been lucky this entire time because number one, I didn't have to go anywhere during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And and then I had to wait, because I didn't have any underlying issues,
Right.
so I had to wait,
to
get the shot.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with either one of them. I didn't have a problem with either one of them. And I've even had my flu shot since, a couple of weeks ago. So,
Exactly.
so far I've been lucky. So whatever excuses people come up with,
Yeah, that they really-
bless their heart,
Thank
bless
you.
their heart.
Please bless their hearts. Because
So that's one of the things. But the back to our thing that's happening Sunday night. That was a great game.
that wasn't good. Okay. I love football and I loved watching them. The only thing that I don't like that really makes me mad is the commentators. And I wish that we could have just black commentators talking about football. And let me tell you the reason why. In one of the plays, Lamar Jackson, now, he's tall already and he's seeing down the field.
Right.
The commentator, he's just talking about how he's just not, he's not doing this and he could be doing more. And, just making it seem like he's just out there slacking. And
Right.
in the middle of the play, this man jumps up to look over the other team, okay, and throws the ball down there. And I was like, and he still didn't even get any credit for that. Nobody, I'm the only one screaming, like, did you see that play? And, well, that was a good play. I'm like, I need Cedric the Entertainer. I need Pharaoh. I need somebody in that box commentating, or even Chris Rock or Chris Tucker. Okay, commentating on
that?
Yes. Oh, now that would be the game to listen to.
It was Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a
Yes.
commentator.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That would be excellent.
Yes, because they never. My issue is they just don't want to give us credit, and I say don't give us credit, and I mean the football players who were out there, the quarterbacks, because for a long time they said that black men couldn't be quarterbacks because they didn't have the depth perception. I don't know what that is, but okay. They didn't have the knowledge. They couldn't, foresee what's going on. And I'm like, I don't know if it's me, but what I'm looking at sometimes, if it's not my team, is whose quarterback is black. That's the team I'm going for, okay? Because, if it's not my team.
Because if nobody else is going to support you, we are.
That's exactly right. That's right.
And that's one of the biggest things, just give credit where credit is due.
Please.
Quit trying to bring somebody down.
Yes.
For I was like, do you sleep better at night because you...
Exactly.
I'm like,
exactly.
what did you do other than you put this in somebody else's mind that may cost them some money or an opportunity, but are you really happy with yourself because you said that?
Thank you.
That's the
Does
part
it make you look better? Exactly. That's exactly right. And I'm like, I think it should be, if you're going to commentate on it, you ought to be able to look at both sides, okay? If it was a bad play, say it was a bad play. Right. But if it was a good play, I want to hear some, I want to hear some of that Telemundo excitement, because when the Telemundo, because when that, I forget his name, but when he's calling a game and if they are doing anything, he is running, I feel like he's running down the field with them, calling on the plays. That's the kind of commentator, right. Not because, it's still that issue of their black quarterbacks.
Right.
And so maybe they're not as good, but I'm sorry, we have too many that are so good.
So good.
And I mean real good. Lamar and Patrick Mahomes, they go back and forth. Yeah. 1 year Patrick Mahomes was MVP, and then 1 year Lamar was MVP. But don't forget Deshaun Watson. Right. You can't forget Dak.
You can't.
Somebody's team. Now Dak, that first game against Tampa Bay, I was worried. I'm just not going to even lie. I thought they were going to win because Dak act like that was the Super Bowl. I was like, man, maybe that mattress he's sleeping on that he's doing the advertisement for is working.
Right.
We might sleep number bed.
And it just took I met this gentleman. He's from Mississippi. He wasn't a Cowboy fan, but Dak going to college at Mississippi State.
Yes.
So we were talking about I was at the bank, and he and we had this long conversations. And we talked about. I said, man, now the first game, I held my breath every time he ran the ball because I don't want to see him get hurt.
I know that was horrible.
And that's on my mind.
That was the most horrible.
But the second game, I didn't think about it not one time.
Because he came on out there.
Because I didn't think about it not one time during the game. And I told him that, and we both laughed. He said, man, I was the same way. And he was an older gentleman.
Okay.
And he was here for a funeral of some people that I do know. And we just happened to see each other because I had on my Dallas Cowboys shirt. Because when the Cowboys win, you wear Cowboy stuff, the day of. You find places to go.
You're not getting paid for that Cowboy stuff.
You find places to go.
Okay? Unless you get
paid I don't care
if
I don't care if I'm riding around the block. I'm throwing one of my Cowboy shirts. Just go ride around the block. And the next day I'm gonna wear a shirt, and then the next day I'm gonna wear. It's like today is Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday and Thursday we're gonna be focused on our next game. But the couple of days, the day of that day of the game, you wear your stuff. I don't like to wear stuff during the game. If I can help it, I don't. So for some reason, it seems like I jinx the Cowboys when I wear like Cowboy paraphernalia during the game. They don't play a good game.
Be sure to buy you a hat then.
Well, you can buy me a hat, but you can buy me a hat.
Buy you some socks.
But I'm not gonna wear. I'm not gonna wear it during the game. And that's what I have to tell myself. Don't wear it during. Don't wear it during the game. Don't wear it during the game or on game day. Don't wear any Cowboys. So I've been trying to do that for all my teams because I have some college teams that I like. And like I said, the Yankees, when the Yankees are playing, the Yankees are either or because baseball is such a long game.
Yes,
so it's like I may have on Yankee stuff. But it's like when I wear the Cowboy stuff, I don't wear any USC stuff during the game. After the game, if they win, especially if USC plays early instead of those 9 p.m. Texas time games.
Oh, mercy.
No. It's just like when they won Saturday. I was like, I didn't go anywhere. I was like, I don't have anywhere to go. But and it's like I got a couple of new USC shirts, and the socks, and so I didn't wear anywhere because it's like I didn't have anywhere to go, and I kept saying, do I want to go? I was like,
yes, go.
I was like, do I want to go somewhere? Where go?
Put on that
jersey. Just to put on my team.
Put that jersey on
after the game, but let everybody know those are my teams. So
all right.
It's like. And that's my heart, where me and my parents' money went. Oh my God, we got beat. North Texas was beat down this past weekend. My heart hurt.
Oh no.
My heart hurt.
It hurt?
Yeah, it hurt.
How bad were they beat down?
What was it, 30-6?
That's not a shellacking. Who was that?
That is a shellacking. You only scored 6 points?
Yeah, but the other team only scored 30.
You only scored 6 points at home?
Well, okay.
It's like we have. I know our. My school, is not a football dominant school.
Okay, yeah.
But it's just a fact,
They're for the academics, right? They're going for the academics.
No, they're just going because they didn't go to a big D1 school.